The league positions may be a little anonymous, the build-up perhaps a little quieter than usual, but it seems there's nothing wrong with the atmosphere of the Manchester derby. But then this match never was about current form. It's about pride, both for the spectators and for the players, and maybe on this occasion in particular for the managers. There are 3 players in the starting lineups making their debuts in a derby match. All are on the United side. There's their goalkeeper Gary Bailey. They're signing from Wrexham, Mickey Thomas, playing his 8th match in United colours, and the youngest player on the field, Andy Ritchie, who was 18 last November. No new faces, but an old one in a new role in the Manchester City lineup. Colin Bell now building a new career as the brains of the defence, after that career was nearly ended in a derby match 3¼ years ago. That's the City lineup, showing Bell as the spare defender at the back. The 4 in front of him will mark opponents man for man, and there are just 2 players in midfield. United bring Arthur Alveston in at number 3 with Stuart Houston unfit, and pull Lou Macari back into midfield after a run as a striker last week. The referee this afternoon is Peter Reeves of Leicester, who was in charge of the Charity Shield match, is now on the FIFA list and will be in charge for the League Cup final in March. Well, just to clarify the position of the commentator in these derby matches, a supporter said to me a few minutes ago, let's have a nice unbiased commentary. Don't mention United. So it's Manchester City attacking the goal to our left in their blue strip. United wearing red shirts and white shorts attacking the goal to our right. It's Alveston. Pitch is taking either a short stud, which is the choice of the City players, or the new Astro boot, which I understand is the choice of the United players. Thomas and Donachie, McElroy. Nicely inside by Ritchie to McElroy, and Bell coming from the wrong side, as it were, to tap it away for the corner. Andy Ritchie feeding McElroy well. McQueen is up on the line. Donachie's steering header, and Bell and Owen in each other's way. Barnes, good cover by Koppel. It's a promising start this by United. Here's Jimmy Greenough, plenty of reds in the box. And Butcher clearing for City. Now a possible break, the ball with Owen. Killing it partially with his left, cost him. McElroy. Thomas. McElroy! City defensive line was a bit static. Thomas with the shot from distance, and as it came back, McElroy had plenty of time for his shot, more time than he should have been allowed. Hartford, Kidd, here's Power. He's gone on the ball with Barnes. And again, the first run from Barnes, and a good cross, comes to Kidd, blocked by McQueen. First run of Peter Barnes, it was a good one, and what was more important, there was a good end product, the cross that finally came down to Kidd, and only McQueen then saved United by charging at the man about to shoot. Shannon making the run behind, there is Shannon, and here's Kidd, played the goalkeeper, no question at all. No question that Brian Kidd played the goalkeeper, no attempt to play the ball, and Peter Reeves, the referee, right on the spot, and whistled long before the ball went into the net. Thomas. McElroy will take it and go through the gap. Corrigan out to meet him. If he can pull it back, he's got Greenough up into the 6-yard box. Comes to Koppel. And it's went in, even though Corrigan got a touch to it. for the scorer. The initial run by Sammy McElroy, who was so well balanced. When the cross came across, it reached Coppell, and though Corrigan had recovered his ground and got an arm to it, it still went in. Well on by Kidd to Barnes, to Shannon, who has support outside from Power if needed. Not a good ball. Pass by Shannon gave Greenough the advantage. Power. Hartford. What a strong challenge, to put it mildly. Shannon. Hartford took a good position, was well found, and tried a difficult angle. And Hartford seemingly keeping his composure after being jockeyed around quite a lot, although the point seemingly was made then to the referee. On by McElroy, Thomas. Alveston. Have to get the neck muscles working then. And Corrigan will have to face the wind for a further 10 minutes. McElroy taken by Jimmy Greenough, on for Coppell. He did well! Oh, that's a brilliant goal! That is a superb goal by Steve Coppell. Oh, he clipped that at such a lovely angle. He was under pressure, he was running out of ground on a difficult surface, and he chipped it with consummate skill right over the head of Corrigan, who from the moment the Coppell had made contact knew that he was beaten. Just too long, the pass from Barnes. Barnes. Shannon. Thomas. Now Hartford, now Donachie. Owen, Kidd, and Barnes! A disappointing end for City, but one of the best moves they put together in the half. Kidd involved just ahead of Barnes, who had the final shot after Hartford had made the early inroads. Greenough. Thomas. Barnes. Oh, that's not a good ball. The linesman has a flag up on this side. And an offside decision has been given. Another test for Malcolm Addison, already off to the dressing room to prepare his half-time comments. To be at the ready, as it were. Here's Thomas. Watson away. Power. Shannon with Brian Greenough off his back. Shannon again. And the foul by Brian Greenough. Bell. And the end of a half in which things have gone United's way. The highlight, a brilliant second goal by Stevie Coppell. And so the half-time score, as the City players go off, where Markham Addison is waiting to greet them, is Manchester City 0, Manchester United 2. England wingers, Steve Coppell and Peter Barnes on the far side as United get the game away at the start of the second half. Gary Bailey, who had his debut at under-21 level in midweek. Watson and Coppell. Barnes having to come back for it, and immediately Brian Greenough forcing him to go back further still. Distribution from the back from Manchester City has really not been good. Oh, that could set up Brian Kidd! And Alveston doing supremely well after Brian Greenough had suddenly changed the colour of his shirt and put Brian Kidd in for no accountable reason. And the other fullback, Alveston, rescuing Brian Greenough. Kidd at the far post. Oh, what a disappointing corner. Shannon, mistake by Coppell. Macari's clearance. Power. Barnes. Owen. Wasn't really a good ball that Owen was given. He had to do it in one movement. Goal kick. Brian Kidd just lost out in the struggle for possession with Alveston. City supporters have not seen their side win here in the league since October the 14th. It was only last Saturday at Tottenham that City ended a run of 13 games without a win in the league. Here's Hartford. Here's Donachie. Goalkeeper committed and did well, in fact. Although the ball was put past him, having decided he was going to come, he stayed. Buchan doesn't seem to agree, but I must say, once you leave your line, you've surely got to keep going. Barnes with the corner. Here's Kidd. Brian Greenough. Ritchie. Oh, so calmly inside Bell. McElroy, 4 United players in the box, not all of them are marked, and Corrigan comes to Ritchie, to Greenough, bodies on the line, and an offside decision had to be given against Ritchie, who must have thought he was going to score in his first derby match. Ritchie, Owen across. Coppell. Macari. It's a good cross, comes to Thomas. McElroy, good save by Corrigan. His hand put it out of the way, but his feet were the vital factors as he recovered his ground. But a free kick has been given anyway. Family business there. Oh, Watson left for dead by a fine turn. They have looked better balanced, United, in all possible meanings of that expression, individually and collectively. Macari, McElroy, Ritchie! And the youngster can celebrate his debut in the derby match. His first derby match, and he gets on the goal sheet and is supremely well struck. McElroy again involved. Dave Sexton showing no emotion on the bench. Neither is Malcolm Addison, but their feelings must be worlds apart, and the feelings of Andy Ritchie are not to be questioned. The better balance of United paying off for the third goal. Here's Watson, didn't deliver it well though, Bell. But now Watson to Barnes. City have got four in the middle, and here's Kidd, handball. Kidd handled it before the shot. And a lot of spectators leaving the ground with over 12 minutes left. Must be a very sad sight for Tony Book and Malcolm Addison. And here's Ritchie. He was caught then by Hartford. Good stuff by the goalkeeper, who looked up and saw that Copper was making a run down the middle and very nearly got him away. McElroy on the ball. Thomas just to his right. And 5 players in the area. And McElroy tried to curl it. Well, it was from a slightly different angle than the one which hit the post in the international match at Wembley in midweek. He's quite an expert at it. And all the noise is coming from the United supporters. The crowd, incidentally, is 5,000 down on this fixture last season, just over 46,000. Here's Kidd. It's nicely through to Shannon, who couldn't take it. That's the worst corner, as the skid marks prove. Here's Thomas. Butcher committed. Chase for Jimmy Greenough. Offside. Only just. Louis Edwards and Sir Matt Busby. Sir Matt Busby with the hat and Louis Edwards with the steel grey hair. Two men are supposed to have been at loggerheads in the boardroom, but reason to be happy this afternoon. Here's Donachie. And there's a good shot that had to be rather fumbled away by the goalkeeper. Donachie, who hasn't scored since March 1975 in the match against Leeds. But the goalkeeper could not have got a touch, according to the referee, who's given a goal kick. Which I must say surprised me. There are now more empty seats than there are people. It's not only in that stand, but in the stand behind us as well. It's been a sad summary of what the crowd feel about Manchester City's performance this afternoon. Kidd. There's Koppel. Owen. Hartford. Comes to Bell. And Alverston putting it into the stand. Jimmy Nicholl is going to get on in place of Mickey Thomas, who's got a knock, but play is continuing. And Nicholl won't be able to get on. Mr. Rees blows the final whistle, and there's a very cold wind blowing around Main Road as United have come across from Old Trafford and beaten City by 3 goals to 0 and beaten them comprehensively. 2 goals for Koppel, 1 for Ritchie, and the second of Koppel's goals, one which will be talked about for a long time when Manchester derbies are talked about.
Tell us about the first goal, because there were one or two people who thought that you might have got a touch on it. Personally, I didn't, but did you?
No, all I did was when Stevie got it, I just tried to get ahead of him. I must have put Joe off or something like that, because he lost it altogether. It went in.
How did you see it?
Well, the ball came across and it seemed to get stuck between my legs, and in the end I just ended up hitting it as hard as I could. And Joe was coming right across and he just couldn't go the other way. I think that's where it was.
The second one didn't get stuck anywhere except in the back of the net. I mean, that's as good a goal as you've scored?
Yeah, I think so. Joe just threatened me there and asked me whether it was lucky or what, but I must admit I did intend to just lob it over him. It's a pretty big fella to lob, but it worked this time.
Particularly in these conditions?
Yeah, well, it was the only thing I could do, really. Jimmy played the ball through and Paul Power was coming down on me inside. On the surface like that, your anchor foot doesn't give you the chance to put much power behind the shot. So in the end, it was just a little flick, really, more than anything.
Andy, what was your reaction to your first derby?
Oh, very excited. Pleased that we won, and I thought it was a great team performance today.
You must have been particularly happy about scoring on it.
Oh, yeah, very pleased, yeah. I mean, it was one of them things. I think it came over from... Sammy had a shot, I think, and it was deflected. It came over Watson's head, and I just volleyed it, and it could have gone in the stand, really, but luckily for me, it went in the bottom corner.
Rumour has it that you nearly signed for City at one stage, is that right?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Why didn't you?
I'm not sure, really. It was... I thought I'd look round, you know, and go to as many clubs as I could and just weigh them up and see which I thought the best, you know.
Have there been times during your career at Old Trafford with Pearson there already and Joe Jordan coming in when you wished you might have signed for City?
No, there's never been one moment like that, no. I've really enjoyed it, every minute of it.
But you must have thought the chances would be few and far between.
Well, I knew I'm still young and I've got a lot of time ahead of me, so I was just trying to plug away, and I knew my chance had come, you know, if I kept plugging at it.
I thought the difference between the two teams was that one competed and the other one didn't particularly want to compete. United played extremely well and they played the right way. They just knocked the ball forward, which was the way to play in conditions like this. And City kept playing it very, very short, and it was impossible to play short balls in the conditions.
I was very disappointed from a City point of view, because I went to Manchester United last week to see them and Arsenal won it in a canter. I came here today to, expecting to see them get well and truly slaughtered after City's win at Tottenham. But I was very, very disappointed. They were disjointed, you know, and I couldn't understand the way of playing Colin Bell at the back in a home game. And the worrying factor for me was that we never created any chances at all.
Well, looking at it from United's side, I would say that it makes the end of the season not so far away. You know, I mean, things are a lot better after today. But I find it very difficult to judge two teams like City and United when the pitch is very slippery. And I always find that it's a case of whoever has the right attitude on the day and is in the right mood on the day to fight the conditions. And United fought the conditions best. You know, they forgot about them. They said, let's get on with it. Let's fight for every ball and do it.
It is, and it was, to me, the most important game in the last 10 years. There was obviously problems in Manchester City. United came here and they looked an easy win. I thought it would be a hard game. It certainly wasn't. City, I think, to be fair, they've played this system they've got, but I think it would suit them to play it away from home and not at home, because in your own ground you've got to attack teams. Teams expect to be attacked. Well, with the extra man at the back, they didn't have enough up front. To me, Manchester City there's a shambles. There doesn't seem to be any system there at all, and unfortunately Colin Bell playing as a sweeper behind the central defenders didn't work. I think that is a good system. If it is a system, is to play away from home, but certainly not at home. And I think that in itself gave Manchester United the incentive that Manchester City were under.